The day after India Today expose in fact highlighted the fact that Nehru government spied on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's family for close to 2 decades. His family is demanding declassification of all documents on the freedom fighter. Netaji's grandnephew Surya Bose will meet Prime Minister Modi during his visit to Germany. Speaking to Headlines Today, Surya Bose said that he will raise the issue of snooping with Prime Minister Modi in Berlin. Germany-based Netaji's kin has been invited to attend a reception hosted by the Indian Embassy for Prime Minister Modi. Surya Bose claims that he was snooped on by raw officials in Germany.
Now you're going to be meeting the Prime Minister soon. What is it that the family has so much faith in the Prime Minister? Do you believe that he is possibly the last person who could actually declassify these files that have been locked up for so long?
No, we had a lot of hopes, certainly, because the Manmohan Singh government had categorically stated, or his surprise office, that they would not be able to declassify these files because we would have problems with friendly nations. But we are quite astonished to see that even the present government, Prime Minister Modi's office, has made the same statement, absolutely identical, which is quite surprising, I must say, but we still haven't given our hopes that Prime Minister Modi would be able to declassify these files.
Would you care to answer this question about which are these friendly foreign countries that the government of India has maintained for the last 30 or 40 years that our relations with will be spoiled if these revelations are made? Has this ever come up in conversations with the Bose family members that you've had? I mean, has there been any informed speculation even as to which countries there could be that the government is so worried about spoiling relations with?
I think that's a question you should directly ask the government of India, who they consider as friendly nations. I mean, I would, the USSR was friendly in the sense we mortgaged our country to the USSR. We got all our arms and Air Force planes from the USSR. But I don't know, I mean, which other country apart from the UK and Japan certainly. But I think the question should be targeted towards the government of India. They should answer who they consider as friendly nations.
Well, now that the cat is out of the bag, do we need a formal inquiry, and should the rest of the Bose files be made public? Here's an excerpt from Karan Thapar's Nothing But the Truth.
Shugata Bose, I want to go back to that reference I read a moment ago to the letter in 1949 where it suggested that Sisir Bose was asked to contact a particular lot of German generals to find out if they were still active. Your mother has told India Today that in fact your father was only trying to gather material to set up a Netaji Research Foundation. That foundation was set up through correspondence. On the other hand, the India Today article says that the Intelligence Bureau believed otherwise. They thought that your uncle Amiya Bose and your father Sisir Bose were attempting to form an Azad Hind Dal comprising former INA men. And I'm asking you this question as a historian rather than as a member of the Bose family. How do you respond to the IB's interpretation of that letter?
Well, in the late 1940s, I can understand a reason for the surveillance because Sharat Chandra Bose was still alive until February of 1950, and having been a congressman all his life and having been the leader of the Congress party in the Central Legislative Assembly as late as 1946, he had broken with the Congress on the partition question and was opposing the Congress at that time. You have to recognize that my father had resumed his medical studies after spending many years in prison in the mid-1940s, and he was a medical student doing his DCH in London, and I think this one letter from his elder brother doesn't prove very much. But what my mother has said is about a later period my father founded the Netaji Research Bureau in 1957. And then he wrote letters to Netaji's associates in different parts of India and also in Europe and Asia, asking them to send photographs, documents, letters and so forth. So this was after 1957, and clearly the surveillance increased in 1958 because all of my father's letters clearly were being opened in 1958. Now, my father, for example, was writing to the mother of a German submarine officer who had taken photographs of the famous submarine journey that Netaji took in 1943. And that woman replied to my father saying that her son had taken these pictures and said someone from India will one day ask for them, and her son was killed on his next mission. What I found most disgraceful was that letters exchanged between my father and his aunt Emilie, Netaji's wife, were opened and read.
I think all the Nehru files which have not yet been opened in Teen Murti should also be opened.
This is one of those cruel truths that are part of the political lives of many leaders.
Bring the discussion to Modi. I was just waiting.
No, I'm not bringing the discussion to Modi.
I hope the Home Ministry will be able to find out who ordered this kind of surveillance, and there should be an apology to Freedom.